Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jen and this is my fiber web where I share my adventures in yarn and floss. Today is Wednesday, June 5th and this is Flosstube number 14. Woohoo! Welcome to any new viewers, welcome back to anyone who's returning. I have a lot to go through today. I have giveaway winners from the last episode where I was celebrating 1,000 subscribers. I have some FFOs to share with you. One of them is mine. The other two were saved from thrift stores. I have a finished object. I have a handful of whips, also a handful of new starts. I do have a little bit of knitting today, and then plans for June, as well as a little bit of haul at the end. So if that sounds good to you, I hope you stick around. I will also have an additional giveaway today that you can enter for that is super exciting, because two of the things that I have to share today are big reveals that I have been sort of mentioning over my last few videos. One of them is my Garden of Zig, which was the secret sale hosted by the Hathaway Stitchers, and the other one is a model stitch that I did, and I get to share that today and I get to do a giveaway for it, so stay tuned for that. The first thing I want to start with is the giveaway winners from my last video. So there were 5 charts that I was giving away, so I am going to put up the comments of the 5 different winners, and if you could please email me at jensfiberweb@gmail.com with your mailing address, I will get those out to you as soon as possible. Okay, so the first giveaway was for this Stony Creek Piece of Christmas booklet. And the winner of this is Linda Romar 2824. So congratulations to Linda. Next I have this drawn thread piece scissors tag. And this one goes to Marsha Platt 8575. Congratulations, Marsha. Next I have this beautiful Tempting Tangles design called Creation. This is the one with all of the specialty stitches, and somehow is all done in DMC, although it looks very much like it has overdyed floss to me. The winner of this is the Petrified Gardener 3144. I love that name, and congratulations to you. Then I have the Threads of Gold Anne Reeve sampler. And this one is going to Amy Swihart 7283. Congratulations, Amy. And finally, this is the one that the most people entered. This is Cottage Garden Samplings, October 31st. This is from the Time for All Seasons series. And this one goes to Esmeralda L. Congratulations to you. Yeah, so please email me with your address, or you could find me on Instagram too. Email would be easiest, just so I can keep track of everything in one place. And let me know if your username on YouTube and your email address aren't obviously linked. Make sure you let me know which chart you won so I don't get you mixed up. Okay, so now I am going to share some FFOs. The first two are pieces that I found that I did not stitch. So this one I just shared on Instagram the other day. I was at Goodwill looking for other things, and I always look for cross stitch and I rarely ever find any. But I found this piece, and I looked it up, and it is from Cross Stitch and Country Craft from 1994, I think. And it's this name is it's like the scientific name for a common domesticated apple tree, which is what is pictured. And then there's this little like blackwork bee, I think, and an apple. I just thought this was very charming, and it was also like custom framed locally. This is like a very substantial, heavy frame, so I rescued it from the Goodwill. Yeah, I don't know, it's on Ada. It looks like it's a 18 count possibly, maybe 16. And yeah, I did see this chart on eBay a bunch, so if anyone wanted to stitch this, you could still find it and get it there. It's very pretty, and I think it's one of a series of a few different botanical charts. Yeah, I think there were 3, so there are a couple other ones too. And then this one I got quite a while ago, and this one has been hanging out with me. And it's not cross-stitch. This one is a embroidered piece. I think it's crewel. But yeah, I saw this. I don't know if I found. I don't think I found this at a thrift store. It was either at a thrift store or I might have found it on like eBay or Etsy when I was looking for vintage kits. And this was a finished piece. And I just love the colors and all the different stitches and the flowers. And then this one is in like a very thin light frame, and I had to replace some of these pieces on the back that hold the backing on, and like this part to hang it is ripped. This is just like a cheap cardboard backing, but isn't that pretty? And there's a few places where I think it's been damaged slightly, but I don't think you can tell when it's just on the shelf. Love it. I bought some crewel kits at one point thinking I was going to give that a try, and it is, in my opinion, it's too, there's too much room for interpretation, and then I doubt what I'm doing the whole time, so I did not enjoy it. But I might give it a try again because I still have the kits. Okay, the last FFO is one of my secret reveals. This is the model stitch that I was working on over the last couple months. I think I finished it in the middle of May. I don't remember when I started it. Are you ready? This is Dunluce Castle. And I model stitched this for Stephanie of Cross Stitch the Globe. So, this is on a 16 count white Aida using all DMC. So I did 2/1 on the 16 count. And Stephanie has charted this so that it fits in a easily acquirable, you know, like a 4x6 frame. And this is a part of her booklet that she just released this week called Cross Stitch of Ice and Fire. So she picked photos that she has taken as part of her travel writing profession, and she found all the ones she had that were taken at filming locations from Game of Thrones. And she created this collection of charts. Some of them are this size, so they'll fit in a 4x6, and then some of them are larger. I think like 8x10 size is what the bigger ones are. And right, Stephanie likes to have a model stitched for the smaller ones, just so you can see, since there's less detail, you can see how they look before you buy them. And I had a lot of fun stitching this. I got it started, like I don't remember. I saved the sky for last because I knew that would go quickly, since it's just the 2 colors making up these blocks. So I was working on all of this stuff first. I don't remember if I started in the bottom corner or what, but I chose to color complete this because the size is pretty small compared to most of the full coverage charts that I have started, and I found it just very motivating to zero out those colors, and it wasn't too much crazy counting since the space is small, and I had a lot of fun. So there's a ton of greens in here, obviously, and then like the browns and the castle and the cliffside. And this location was used to film the Greyjoys castle, which I can't remember what it's called. The Isle of Pike, is that right? They're on Pike? I think so. So anyway, yeah, this was awesome. Stephanie, I just offered to stitch a model for her, and she's like, would you rather have more blue or more green? And I said green, and this is the one she picked. And I love it. So for today, Stephanie said I could give away a digital copy of her pattern booklet. So this will give you all of the patterns in the booklet. She has it available in her Etsy shop right now. If you would like to enter the giveaway, use the word song in your comments, and then I will enter you in a drawing to win the entire collection of her charts for free. So to enter that, all you'll have to do is send me your contact info, and I'll get you in touch with Stephanie, and then she will be able to get you that PDF. So no mailing address required for this one. And then I have one more finished object. It's not an FFO yet. And this is another big reveal. this is my garden of zig, which I have been talking about since the beginning of March when the stitch along started. And if you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen this already. I had it nicely clipped onto this piece of cardboard, and now it's not. But okay, ready? Here it is. So, this is a design by Ink Circles. And I will put a picture up of what the original colorway looks like so you can see. And again, for the secret stitch along, we were supposed to choose our own fabric and our own colors. The only rules were they couldn't be anything called for. And then keep it a secret until we had a Zoom meeting on the 1st of June, where some of us shared live, some people sent in little video clips or photos of their piece, and we all shared what we did. So there's three pink colors in this. The two lighter ones are kind of hard to distinguish, but all three of those are overdyed floss, and then the gold color and the white are DMC. So let me show you the colors that I used. This is the one I started with. So this is Antique Rose by the Gentle Art. And then this one's almost gone. It's Lancaster Red by Weeks. And then I had this one in stash. This one I was definitely playing some thread chicken towards the end. It's Cottage Colors Secondhand Rose. So these two look different. Oops. These two look pretty different in the skein, but then on the fabric they showed up very similar. And then I just added 3866, which is a tiny bit darker than 3865, and then 3829 is the gold that I used. So that was my palette, and I wanted to talk a little bit about how I chose the palette, because I think some people are intimidated by changing up the colors on a pattern. So I just wanted to talk about some tricks that I use that I learned from knitting, actually, that helped me out. So like if you're gonna knit a color work sweater or something and you're gonna choose your own colors, sometimes it can be tricky to figure out what goes together. So a few of the tricks that I have learned is you can find something you already have where you really like the color palette. That's like a piece of fabric. Like this is a project bag that I have from Sheba Designs, I think. Nope, this one's from the 805 Stitcher. So you can pick a piece of fabric or a project bag or something like this where someone has already done the work of making the cohesive color palette for you and just pull your colors from this. So you could use this dark teal and a gold and a pink, or whichever colors you like, and find the DMCs or whatever that are closest. Do it that way. Also, if you are a yarny person like me and you have a variegated skein of yarn, you can do the same thing and pull colors from here. So you could pull out like this bright pink, this wine color. There is a little bit of gold in here. I don't know if you can see it. And the cream. So you could, and then this like brighter fuchsia. You could pull your colors that way. Here's another example. With some blues and pinks that, maybe you wouldn't put together on your own, just pulling floss, but if you have something to go from, you can grab those colors. I think in my case, I have this project bag made with this is Teresa Kogut fabric. I don't remember who the bag maker is. I think the bag maker that has these is Ragtag Quilt Art. I think that's right. I don't see a tag on here, but anyway, the colors in this house are basically the colors I use. So it has gold, black, this like sort of wine color, and then pink. So mine kind of matches the house. Eek. Let me turn it this way. Which I didn't actually use this bag to pick my colors. It just happened to match. So that's the bag that it lived in while I was working on it. The way that I did it is I had this medium pink that I wanted to use. This is the lighter pink, so you can see it's kind of hard to tell the difference between those two, but they are different. So anyway, I started with this, and I just typed into Google. I knew I wanted to do it on black Ada, Nope, black linen. So I just typed in like pink and black color palette, and then scrolled through, and there are a bunch that were just like a gradient of pinks with black, and then I added gold to the mix, and I'm probably putting up some pictures here of the palettes that I was looking at, and then from there I pulled a DMC that matched best, and then I went and looked through my overdyed stash to see what else I could use in addition to that pink. And yeah, that's how I did it. So I am very happy with how this turned out. The only thing is I put it on there's not much of a margin at the bottom. This piece was cut crooked because it's a remnant from something else that I stitched. I don't even remember what I used this fabric for. But I cut it crooked, and I knew it was going to be a tight fit, but my plan was either to make this into like a little flat fold or possibly a project bag. It's like a good size to be the front panel on a project bag. I don't know which side. Oh, you can see through that. So I have enough space if I want to sew it into the front panel on a project bag. So I think I'm going to try that. Yeah, so pretty. Okay, so that was my Garden of Zig. And there are no concrete plans yet, but there has been some chatter about doing another secret stitch along around the last quarter of this year, and possibly doing something smaller, like an ornament sized thing. That way people that are doing gift stitching and just busy around holiday time might have time still to participate in a smaller project and still get the fun of the secret stitch alongness. So if that happens, I will definitely participate again. I had a lot of fun with that. Okay, so those are all my finishes. 2 that I purchased, 2 that I stitched. So next I have whips. So the first one that I will show you, you have seen several times recently if you are a returning viewer. This is my Welcome to the Forest by Country Cottage Needleworks. This was a whip go call for me last month, as well as my entry for the Carolina Stitchers building block stitch along. And I was hoping to get that first block done, and you can see I did not quite do that. It was more stitching than I thought, and the days that I pulled it out, I just wasn't super feeling it. I do love the flowers on the side. I love the bright colors. But you can see I still have to do almost all of the banner, and there's still some fill in the grass at the bottom. But I did get all the flowers in and the little butterflies. And yeah, I still have to do like the stems of the mushroom toadstool guys. But yeah, this is a nice project to work on. This is on, I didn't say, my Garden of Zig is on a 28 count linen that's just black. This is on a 32 count lamb's wool linen. And then, so I just worked on that one more day since the last time you saw it to finish out my whip go goal. The next whip I have to show you is my Forest Fairytale stitch along from Quaternion Creations. This is an ongoing mystery stitch along that is happening now. The second clue actually just dropped today. So I was caught up. I finished the first clue yesterday to get ready for the drop. And let's see if I can. Here is what I have. So this is everything that was released up until early this morning. And part 2, I will pop a picture from Maria's Instagram. It's going to be this other corner. So it's sort of like mirrored from this side to create, it creates like this arch in the middle. And then this side has a castle and a knight. Actually, I think it's King Arthur. Yeah, very excited to keep going with this one. This one is on 22 count Ada from Bestitch Me. The color does not have a name. I think it was like a Friday Night Fight Night. And it's showing up pretty good here. It's like mostly a cooler green, but then there's some splotches of warmer yellowy color. And yeah, I'm doing it 1/1 with the called for DMC. So it's 310 and then 3345 is the green and 900 is the burnt orange. So yeah, I love this one. I can't remember how many clues there are, but I think they come out every other week, which makes it easier to fit in to my schedule than the ones that come out every week and make me feel guilty for not keeping up. Okay, and then I have my Prairie Wind by Carolyn Manning, which I had pulled out for Manning May. I think I only worked on this one more day after I showed it last time. So my grand plans of trying to finish it in May, which I knew wasn't really going to happen, definitely did not. But here's where I'm at. I'm still working on that same color from last time. It's this pale purple right here. So there's a couple more spots where it goes in the bottom and then around the center. I don't even know if I got it halfway done, but this one is really nice and easy to work on. I love the colors. Okay. And then the last whip that I have to share is Froth and Bubble by Long Dog Samplers. I pulled this out this month to work on for June Dog, which is a stitch along hosted by Crow Stitcher, and you just stitch on any Long Dog sampler that you like. So this was my Long Dog leap year start this year. And here is where I am at. So I just got this out yesterday and was working on some of this black outlining right here. Everything else was already there. I love working on this. I've sort of debated about whether I want to try to do this one with color completing. So the most used color is this blue, and then the next most used is black, I think, because it outlines everything in the bands. So that would be just a lot of one color. But then filling it in would be so fun because you'd have the outline already done and all the words would be done. You could just go like painting a picture that's already outlined, or like a coloring book more, I guess. So I might do that. And I just want to show the colors for this because they are gorgeous. This is the one where I bought all of the fancy floss and then ended up switching a bunch of it out because the DMC colors were brighter and I wanted them bright. So there's just a bunch of beautiful pinks and blues and purples and greens. And then the main color is this Presidential Blue by the Gentle Art. I think I needed to buy 4 skeins of this, and you can see my first one is almost gone. And mine is definitely not as dark as the one in the model that I've seen. So the dye lot must have changed over time, but I realized that before I started, and I thought it was still okay. So in the original, this blue is a little bit more navy, but I think it's going to be fine. Okay, so the rest of the stitching that I have to share today is all new starts, and there are 4 of them. And then I will show you some things that I have planned. Okay, so my first new start that I have to share, oh, I lied, I have one more whip. It was in the wrong pile. Okay, my last whip is In Praise of Pollinators by the Blue Flower. And I started this with Laura of Lality Stitches. I started with her stitch along. She has now assigned the next section of this, which we're supposed to work on this month, but I'm still not done with the first one. So here is mine. So I think I actually wasn't supposed to do this hummingbird yet, and then there's a squirrel over here, and there's a ladybug that I'm supposed to do, and then fill out this bottom. So I still have a bit to go on this first chunk, And then I think the next section that we're supposed to do is this bottom corner over here with the lemur. So yeah, I'm not really upset that I'm not caught up with this. I'm just going to work on it when I want to, because I really like working on it and I don't want to rush. And this is on this Outback Jack from Be Stitch Me. It is an 18 count Ada, and I am doing this with 1 strand over 2 with all the called for overdyed and DMC. Are there overdyed in this one? There are, right? Yeah, there's 3. 2, it says Crescent, but that's Classic Colorworks, right? 2 Classic Colorworks and 1 Weeks color. I don't know where they are, so I'm not going to show you. Okay, so now I'm going to show you my new starts. The first new start I have to share with you, I am so excited about. I am using this Silks for You floss. I don't know. Maybe it'll show up better with the fabric behind it. And I started Saga by Long Dog Samplers. So I have a teeny tiny start. I only worked on it for 1 day. So I started in the top right, and that is dark. I started working on the arch. So let me see if I can get it to focus. There we go. So yeah, this is the arch with the spotted hens in it. Hopefully I put up a picture already of what this looks like. So here's my, that looks better. Here's my floss that I'm using. I don't know what number it is, PR or whatever, because I ordered 3 of these at the same time, and the way that they come is in, or the way mine came, each was in like a plastic baggie with just a Sharpie that had the code on it, and I got rid of those. So I'm not sure what color this is, but if you wanted to know, I could probably look it up. It's definitely green, but it's like bluey green teal kind of color in some of the spots. And I love how it's working up so far. This is on a 28 count cashel linen by Fiber on a Whim. It's Moonstone. This is one of the ones I got from 123 Stitch when they had their sale on 28 count Fiber on a Whim. And I was inspired by Dace to do some teeny tiny stitching. So I have done 1/1 on a 28 count for full coverage, but I haven't done it for anything else. So, and it's been on, you know, even weave, and this is linen. So it'll be interesting. So far it's been fine. Like, you know, with linen, some of the little squares aren't quite the same size as their neighbors, but I think it's going to be fine. I was also considering, since this color sort of looks like an older, like an antiqued metal, like greeny metal color, I was considering doing all the arches in this color and then doing the scenes inside with like black. So I'm not sure if I want to do that or if I want to use all this color. Let me know what you think in the comments if you have an opinion either way. I've seen where people do like the arches one color and then the contents are different, or even where they like fade through different colors, and I just can't decide what I want to do. Okay, my next new start is called Do When You Can Don't, and this is by, let me make sure I get the name right. This is by Screaming Heart Design. So it's Screaming Heart Design on Etsy, and then on Instagram I think it's Screaming Heart X Stitch, and it goes this way. I will put up a picture of what it looks like, and here's where I'm at. So, working on the frame, obviously. This one is interesting. I probably should have ironed this before I started. This was one of the little pieces of fabric that I got in like an eBay D-stash that was folded up in a little plastic package. Like, I think it's an old Zweigart. It's a 22 count fabric, and I am using some rayon embroidery thread that I also got in like a mystery lot on eBay. So this is not meant for cross stitch. This is what it looks like. It's called Lola Rayon by Edmar. It's 100% rayon, viscose. It's color fast. And I looked up what this is for, and I think it's for like surface embroidery, like big 3D shiny fancy things that you want to put on, I don't know, like a purse, or I'm not sure. So it's like kind of springy, very much not like cotton. So when you're pulling it through, it kind of stretches if you pull it tight. And I just wanted to find something to use it for. And this chart is, let me see if I have the dimensions. I have it up here. So on a 14 count, it's only 6.5 by 5.5 inches. It's 91 wide by 75 high. So I'm doing this one strand of this stuff over 2 on this 22 count. So it's basically 11 count. So I'm making it bigger. And I cut this just in half, and I'm sort of trying to keep the colors together as I stitch, so you can see the light green and the dark green are together. Like I'm starting my threads at about the same point and working the same direction so they kind of line up. Excuse me. Okay, I just had a little allergy, coughing, sneezing episode. My allergies have been bothering me lately. I have a headache today, but we're just pretending it's not there. So I was just wrapping up talking about this new piece that I had started called Why Do When You Can Don't. And yes, I have a bunch of skeins of this springy green stuff. So I have more than I need. And this has been just something different to work on. Life has been lifing lately, and sometimes when that happens, like all of the projects that I normally work on that are bringing me joy just seem like I don't even want to touch them. So that's part of the reason I have so many new starts, and some of them are different like that. And I've been knitting. So the next new start that I have to share with you is my Spring Forest Scrapbook, which is a design where part of it's like it's 9 blocks, and 5 of them were designed by Steph at Lindy Stitches, and the other 4 were designed by Janine of the Blue Flower. So here are the charts, and then it shows on the back that you can stitch them all together in one block, and that is what I am doing. I started this along with Amber, Rogue Mama Stitcher, and Mary, Daydream Stitcher, on like the 29th of last month. And here is how far I got. Can you see? So at first I thought I was just going to do all the outlines of the blocks first, and then I couldn't resist starting these flowers. The box with the flowers also has 2 raccoons in it, so I thought that was perfect for Raccoon June, which is a hashtag... it's hashtag Raccoon June. It is a stitch along hosted by Michelle, Bendy Stitchy, and someone else. I'll put it on the screen because I can't remember right now. But yeah, if I do that top block in the middle this month, that will be for Raccoon June. Let me show you. Sorry for the glare. It's this one. Super cute. So these designs use the same handful of overdyed flosses, which are these 5 colors from Weeks. And then they also use, I think, mostly the same set of DMC colors for the rest. I did notice that they use different symbols for the same colors, so if you're trying to jump back and forth between the 2 different charts, be careful. So yeah, I'm enjoying that one so far. I did not say, this is on 32 count Silver Fox linen, which is the called for. It's one of the called for. So they give you a 40 count if you want to do the little pillows, and then they give you this 32 count if you want to do them together. So I used whatever was recommended by Steph. Okay. My last new start today is Elemental Dragons by Ink Circles. So I had showed on one of my recent Flosstubes that I picked this up, and my friend Kate from Making Things with String reached out and said, hey, Judith and I are starting this June 2nd, you should join us if you want. And I said, absolutely, of course. Twist my arm. Also, I had finished Garden of Zig, so I needed another new Ink Circles. Not that I don't already have Ink Circles whips, but I needed a new one. So here's how far I got. I just started in the top left corner, and I got that little branch of what looks sort of like seaweed, and then this is a dragon snout. So I'm working right up here. I started this dragon, and I did this little branchy thing. And I am using 18 count Ada from Crazy Hamster. She does not name her colors. She gives you the DMC colors that are included, or, you know, roughly the DMCs that match. And this is like a nice purpley gray. That's a pretty good representation. And then I am using this DMC variegated thread, which is blues and purples. It is, oh, I just pulled the sticker off. It's 4240 is the color. So yeah, I thought that would be good on this purpley fabric. And so far, I love it. I'm doing it one strand over one on the 18 count Ada. So those are all of my new starts. So the next section, I'm going to talk about plans for June. So I will do my stitching plans, and then I will have a little knitting segment right at the end. So for June, I have my two new WhipGo calls. They are, the first one was of Dragons and Apples, which is my other stitch along that I have going for Maria at Quaternion Creations. So this is the same designer as the Forest Fairytale stitch along that I already showed you. And this one happened, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but here is where I am at with Of Dragons and Apples. So my goal is to work on it for 5 days this month. I would like to finish this panel. It's another one where you're stitching the background like this one, so it is much more stitch dense than the other blocks. But yeah, I want to see if I can get that one done. That's sort of my goal that I'm trying to hit within the 5 days. And if I can get more done, awesome. And if not, that's okay too. This one is, oh, I didn't say. This one is on a 32 count mystery linen, and I'm doing it 2 over 2 with, I keep saying that I chose the colors for this, but I'm probably just using whatever Maria suggested. I don't remember the like red-orange color and then the gray. I know in the model that she showed, she used a variegated for the medium gray that I have. So I don't know if these were called for or not. I forgot to check. So that's one of my plans. And then my other WhipGo call is Jack's Bash. So let me open it over here. Okay. This is by, do I have the, here. This is by Plum Street. So this way. There is what it looks like. I love this chart. I actually started it twice. I was going through my fabric stash and I found a fabric that had some stitching on it, and I was like, what is this? And it took me a while to realize it, but it was the very top of this house that I had started, and then I don't know if I wasn't happy with the fabric or I just forgot. I had like I thought it was a dream or something, I don't know. But I found that after I had already restarted it on this fabric. So here's where I'm at with this. I started in the same corner as I did the first time, and I'm using all the called for fancy floss for this. This probably isn't all the colors because I've stolen some of them, but very fall Halloween colors. What is this fabric? Does it have a tag? I don't know what the fabric is. I haven't trimmed it yet. Let me see if I have the tag in here. I'm not sure. It's 40 count though, and I'm doing it 1/2 on the 40 count. So yeah, hopefully I will get some good progress on this month for Whipco. And then another project that I pulled out to work on this month is, I don't remember what the title of this is exactly. This was a free stitch along that happened a couple years ago, I think. It is from Jeanette Douglas, and it is this year of mini bouquets. So she released these 12 patterns throughout the 12 months of, I don't think it was last year, I think it was the year before. So 2022, maybe? And so each pattern has an option to make a little tiny pincushion, or you can stitch them all together, and then she also provided this border, which I started here. And then there's like a different border that goes in between the different rows of this. And I have completed January through May, and I started working on the June bouquet last year and did not finish it. So it's this one that's in this glass vase. And for this one, this is also on 40 count, and I am doing it with 1 strand over 2. And I started this right when I started stitching, and I did not have much of a stash yet. And I think everything is charted to use overdyed floss. I think that's true. So I started playing a very fun game of what is the closest color I have with my limited DMC stash as well as my limited overdyed stash. And I have this big convoluted crazy sheet of paper where I've crossed things out and reassigned colors to different symbols, and I tried to be consistent. So, you know, if there's a color that was used for the dark red in this one, I wanted to use it again in the dark red in this one, but I don't think I always did that. I think it's mixed up a bit, which again is like super fine because it's flowers and they're not going to be the exact same color, so who cares if they're a little bit different red. But these are really sweet, and it's nice to get the little finish. But it is a lot of color changes since the motifs are so small. So it just takes a little bit of focus, and then looking at, maybe I have it in here. Let me see if I have the sheet. If you want to see my crazy color tracking system. It looks like this. So there's stuff crossed out and scribbled out, and there's dimensions written in, and I don't even, multiple things crossed out and redone. I don't know. So I think she gives you maybe an overdyed color and a DMC, because it looks like I'm also changing those out. I don't know. I don't know what I was doing. But I'm going to try to keep up with this for the rest of the year. So I'm going to try to finish June this month and then do each remaining bouquet in its respective month. And then, since it's June, I also wanted to participate in the Strawberry Moon Sale, which I think I talked about on my last Flosstube. So I would like to start the Carriage House Samplings Strawberry Dreams chart sometime soon. I haven't pulled it out yet. I have not picked fabric yet, but that's sort of in the back of my mind for when it feels right. I also saw that Jessie Marie Does Stuff started Beauty Spot by Long Dog Samplers, which has a giant strawberry plant on it, and I have that one in my collection. I thought about starting it already earlier this year, so there's a chance I might start that one as well. I already mentioned June Dog that I'm doing with Crow Stitcher, and that's just any long dog chart. Raccoon June with Bendy Stitchy, and then I have my first ever stitch along that I am like technically officially hosting is going to be the Giant Butterflies stitch along. So this is a free chart that just came out from the Artsy Housewife. I will put a picture of what it looks like, and I am hosting this along with Milka of Mega Stitches. We were just chatting about maybe starting something together, and that was the chart we came up with, and we are going to start that together on June 30th. And there is already an official post for it on the Cross Stitch Salander Instagram account, which I think I forgot to mention last time. So the Hathaway Stitchers plus Alex from Salix Stitches have started an account that is just all of the sals, and it tells you what the stitch along is, when it starts, if it ends, who's hosting it. So yeah, we have an official post there, which is pretty cool. So I will be starting that at the end of the month. Please join us. Let me know if you're going to join us. I was considering last night whether I wanted to do any color converting on that. I really like the palette, but it is charted to use all DMC, so I might at least throw in some variegated floss, and I might also change some things. I'm not sure yet. There aren't too many colors. I think maybe like 8, and it's a free chart, so I don't know. It seems like if it's a free chart, there's less pressure for it to be super perfect, so it's more fun to play around with. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. But yeah, let me know if you're going to join us. That will be fun. And then I'm going to try to do the I Spy challenge that Laura from Stitching by the Shore puts out. I did it 2 months ago, and then last month I skipped it because there were just too many things happening in May. But I'm going to see if I can get all 10 prompts covered this month. You can find that list of prompts from her either in her Facebook group, or I think she also posts it in like the YouTube community tab, or if you just message her, I think she'll give them to you if you want. Okay, and then I've mentioned a bunch of Flosstubers already. They will all be linked below, so you can go and find them and check them out if you haven't before. And I just wanted to say that I don't know what is going on with YouTube notifications, but there have been many people who have tagged me in their videos and I'm not getting notified. I double checked that my settings say please notify me for mentions, and it's like some small percentage of them actually give me a notification. So I feel really bad because I feel like I might be missing people that are mentioning me, and I don't want to seem like I don't care or I'm not grateful. I would love to watch every video that mentions me and, you know, thank the person for doing so. So if you have mentioned me on your YouTube channel and I didn't say anything, it's not intentional and I apologize. Please let me know. Also, if you have found me from someone else's video, please feel free to let me know in the comments who sent you here so that I know. Because yeah, I love the community, and I love to share other Flosstubers that I enjoy and that I like to watch, and it feels bad to think that there are people mentioning me and I have no idea. So yeah, there's just been a bunch of videos that I just happened to watch because I like the Flosstubers, and then all of a sudden they're talking about me, and I go look and I'm definitely tagged, and I just don't have any notification. So anyway, alright, I have haul and I have knitting. I will do the haul first because it's all cross-stitch related, and then I will do the knitting section. And again, I will put timestamps in for everything, so if you only care about some of the stuff, you can skip around to the parts that you would like to see. So, haul. The first thing that I got that I wanted to share is some Cottage Garden threads. I had this color. It's called Conservatory. This was used in that Hedgehog and Hyacinth chart by the Blue Flower that I stitched earlier this year. And I have since also used mine in an Artsy Housewife piece, A Study in Pink, which is one of the big butterflies. And then I also used this for my Herbalist stitch along for the whole frame, and I was worried I'm going to run out. because I'm just using it everywhere because I love it so much. So I wanted to find another skein so I don't have to be stressed out. And I was searching all over, and a bunch of shops have it listed, but it was out of stock. And I found it at the Stitching Corner. Here is the back side of the card. So it's just thestitchingcorner.com. And she is in New York. And she carries the entire line of Cottage Garden threads. All of them. I mean, they have a bunch of different lines, actually. I went to their website, and they have really cool color cards that you can download and print. But they have, like, their signature line, and then this line, and that line. So I don't know if she has all of them, but I think she has all of the signature line. So I didn't want that green to travel alone, so I grabbed a few other ones. And I don't have anything specific planned for them, but I just really enjoyed working with the Cottage Garden floss, and then since she had all of them, I had to try some. So if you need any and you are in the States, check her out. The Stitching Corner. She's on Instagram too. Okay, and then I got my Fabric of the Month from Bestitch Me, so if for some reason you don't have yours, this is from May, and you don't want to see it, then look away now. I'm not going to say the name because it will give it away. I'm going to show it, so look away. So this is the 18 count Ada. And that is what it looks like. I am in the group that does a mix of colors and neutrals. And I think this is obviously one of the neutrals. And I love it. It's showing up pretty well. Sort of, oh, I'm not going to say. Okay. Alright, I put it down, so if you were looking away, you can come back. Okay, and then I also was totally influenced by the Thread Gremlins, who I adore, and their obsession with Pirate Robin threads. I don't know if it's Pirate and Robin or Pirate Robin designs. Either way, they're delightful, and I just want to say these are even brighter than I thought they were going to be. So let me show you what I got. I did share these on Instagram already too. This is called Pumpkin Sunset. These are like, my only concern is they don't look like they would be color fast because they are so saturated. But I'm sure that they're fine to work with because the Thread Gremlins tell me they are. Right, so super bright orange and red and wine colors. And then I also got Glacier, which has electric blue and like cobalt. And then some more teal. And I got Rust. Love it. I had to get a yellow, even though I have a lot of the overdyed floss I have is fall colors because that's what I'm drawn to, and when I first started stitching it was fall, so I bought a bunch of Halloween and fall stuff, but I still had to get a yellow that has some nice like light orange mixed in. And then I got, oh, did I say the color name? This one's Daffodil. And I got Belladonna. So to compare these, there is like some overlap in the colors. So these would work really well together in the same project if you wanted to fade from like lighter to darker. And then I had to get some of the watermelon that Carolyn showed because it is insane. Like, this one does not show up as bright as it actually is. Like, it is brighter. It's brighter in real life. Like, I'm wearing a pretty bright shirt. It's like the color is jumping out at you. It's very vibrant and rich and saturated. So I don't know what I'm going to do with these, but I have them now in my collection, which is exciting. And then the last thing that I got that I wanted to share was just some Rit dye. I just went and picked a few colors. I've never used them before. I have some fabric that is just like more de-stash stuff that's I don't know how old, and some of it is a little off-colored, so I figured it would be good stuff to try some Brit dyes with. So I got 2 pinky colors and a green. And I'm going to experiment, and that was why I went to Goodwill actually to find some containers that I could use to do my dyeing in. I found like an old Pyrex in case I want to put any of them in the oven. I'm still not really sure when you do want to put them in the oven and when you don't, but I'm going to experiment and find out. So I think that is all of the stitchy content that I have. So I have some knitting. I have 3 different knitting projects that I'm going to share. So if you're not here for the knitting, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. If you are here for the knitting, let me show you what I've been working on. I'm going to go from, I'm going to do these upside down, so excuse me while I readjust my life. Okay. The first one I have to show you is my Porty pullover. This is a design by Gudrun Johnston, who is the Shetland Trader. That is her design name. This is obviously a colorwork circular yoke sweater. I finished the yoke several years ago. This is like a mashup of different fingering weight yarns. None of them are the same base. There's some Jameson and Smith in here. There's some West Yorkshire spinners. I don't know what the other ones are. My main color is a Magpie Fibers base. I don't think that they make it anymore. It is like a very round, springy yarn, and I am knitting this on US 3 needles, so it's 3.25 millimeters, and it is taking 5 million kabillion years to do the body of this. So I think at the beginning of the year, or whenever I did my knitting whip parade, I only had about an inch of the body done. So I have made some good progress, but it just goes so slowly. So this is the project that I take with me. It's going to be so cute when it's done, right? This is the one I take with me to like my son's baseball games, so when they're warming up or in between innings, or if it's just boring, I can work on this. Because you don't have to look at a chart or anything, you just have one color and you're just knitting a spiral of knit stitches forever and ever and ever. Okay, so I've been working on that. Baseball season ends at the end of this month, so I think that will be a good thing. Okay, the next one, I don't know why I'm trying to show you this. It's all bunched up on a cable that's too small, but this is my Lacy Business Shawl by Amba O'Brien. I will put a picture in of what it will look like when it's done, so you can't really tell, but I cast on with this lighter blue color, and maybe if I hold it this way, here's like this is the center right here. So it's a triangle shaped shawl with this lace pattern, and then it slowly fades in the second color, and it's all the same stitch pattern throughout. You're just changing like which rows you do with which color. So now I'm just using this color for the rest of the shawl, and then there will be a lace border back in the first color, which I might actually use a third color to do the lace border. I haven't decided yet, but I had a video pop up on my YouTube feed that said like my top 25 single skein project suggestions, and I watched it and I didn't want to knit any of the projects that were in the video, but it did inspire me to go look through my extensive library of knitting patterns and find something that I already had in stash and yarn that I already had and just start something new. So I just started that last week, the week before, maybe, on the days that I did not feel like stitching. And then, okay, this one is going to be maybe the hardest one to show you. This is my Radvent cardigan, again by Amba O'Brien. There are cords everywhere. Okay, this is a very interesting construction. So I started knitting the cuff. So you cast on here and you knit this cuff, which is just twisted rib. And then you start knitting. It's designed to use an advent calendar of yarn that has 24 or 25 colors. So you start knitting with your advent yarn, and then the pattern is written just to like use each one in blocks, but I decided to fade them together, and I also held the yarn together with a gray mohair to sort of tone down some of the crazier colors. So I don't know how well you can see the fluff, but it's quite fluffy. So you knit one whole sleeve, and then you add stitches for the body of the sweater at the bottom. This is hard to show. So here's one half, and then you do the same thing for the other side. So I put that on some holders, and then I cast on this cuff and knit this way, and then added stitches for the body. And then just last night I grafted the two sides together in the back. So there's like one row of stitching here that was connecting the two sides together. So this will be down the center of my back. And then, so the fade goes from like wrist to wrist. And the next step is to pick up stitches all along the bottom hem of this. Like this, you can tell this is very cropped looking right now. And it is designed to be cropped. But the next step is to pick up stitches all along the bottom of the cardigan and knit basically ribbing like this to add length. And then the last step is you pick up all around the collar and the front sides to add a button band. So it will look more like a sweater. Right now it is part of a sweater. But yeah, the advent calendar that I used was from Spun Right Round. And I don't remember what year I started this. Actually I do. It was 2021. I started this right after my son was born. So he was born in November, and I was working on this in December when he was a teeny tiny newborn and took 18 naps every day. I would hang out and work on this when I could. And then I put it away for a long time, and then I did not take good notes about where I was in the pattern, so I had to figure that out. And I got it out at the end of last year, like in December, and I almost finished the second side. So over the last couple days I finished it up so I could connect them, and now all I have, like all the color and all the mohair is done. I just have to add the hem and then the button band. And I am debating whether I want to use the same gray that I used for the cuffs, which is this variegated sort of like cool gray, or if I want to do black. Like I think this would look kind of cool framed in black. So let me know if you're still watching. Would you do the hem and the button band in this same gray color, or would you use black? Maybe, should I just put this on? Let me put this on real quick because I don't know if I'm giving you any kind of idea. Oh, that's better. So it's like this, what do you call that? Like a dolman sleeve, kind of? Like it just keeps getting wider and wider and wider from the wrist. Oh, there's my doggo. Hi, Bear. And then it's very huge. And then it comes together in the back. So it's too warm to have this on, but I think it's going to be fun. So yeah, let me know. Should I stick with the gray for the collar and the hem, or should I do black? The only other knitting thing I have to mention is with House of the Dragon having started. No, it's starting in a couple weeks, right? It's like the 14th or something. My husband and I started rewatching season 1 of House of the Dragon in preparation for season 2 coming out. And I was already thinking about starting one of Stephanie's patterns, one of the other ones I haven't done yet, while watching that. But I also have a pair of socks that are almost done. I think they're 75% done. So I have one whole sock finished, maybe. The other one half. Or it was a mystery stitch along. So I probably did both cuffs, and then both heels, and then like half of each foot. So I probably have both of the toes left to do. But anyway, the sock is called the Rhaenyra socks. So I should probably finish those. They're really cool. I'll put a picture of what they look like because I don't know where they are right now. But maybe by the next time I talk to you, I'll have a finished pair of fancy socks. Okay, I think that is everything. This felt like a long one. I don't know how long it has been. Yeah, it's a long one. So, if you are still here with me, let's do a dragon emoji for House of the Dragon. And don't forget, if you want to enter to win a PDF copy of Stephanie's new chart or booklet of charts, to use the word song in your comment. Okay, thank you for watching. See you next time. Take care.